Sometimes you'll be shocked. You're like, I have all this other time. If I would just cut 30 minutes out of that, then I might make an A on this test or whatever. So I would say time management is definitely going to be something that you have to work on if you're going to be a student athlete.
Time management. That's the most important thing. Being, well, just your whole life. Time management. You got to manage your time. If you don't manage your time, you fail. I promise you. All right. Any more questions?
Yeah, one more. Go ahead and
Do you ever find, like, how do you get motivated to get in the game? Like, do you use music or things like that to get you hyped? Like, is art also something that supports you in getting in the game?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I've always been a huge music person. My mom and dad are both pretty big music people. So I grew up listening to, like, 2000s R&B, 2000s hip-hop, because I had an older sister, and then now everybody listens to, like, all the newer rappers and stuff, and then I'm the one that they're like, you still listen to old music? But that's the kind of stuff that I love. And it kind of, I relate older music to my parents, and they kind of motivate me. So in some way, that's kind of how I get motivated before the game. I listen to music, and I'm a very routine-based person, so that's kind of where my head is at before the game. I do the same thing for every single game. I listen to usually the same playlist. And then before bigger games, I try to listen to more like calming music, like not a lot of rap, just try to get my head in the right space, which is kind of different. Most people don't do that.
Thank you.
another question.
Who do you listen to?
So newer rappers, I like Lil Baby, Lil Durk. Older rappers, I like Biggie, I like Pac, Nas.
Nas.
Pac.
Nas.
Not Lil Nas X.
No, Nas.
No, Nas is a rapper. It's not
Nas. Oh,
Got another
Nas.
question
Yeah,
too.
it's not.
Whenever
New
you
York.
There's a big difference.
You talking about your parents, building motivation. So I know your dad was a high school basketball coach for a while. You know what I'm saying? When did he first put a ball in your hand, or did you decide to pick that up yourself?
Well, it's just kind of both. So there are pictures of me with a ball in my hand before I even realized it. So I think they kind of put it in there first. But my dad was always very open to whatever I wanted to do. And he didn't want to be the type of person to burn me out either. So when I started saying the things like, hey, like, this is what I want to do, then he started to support me. But I will say that that was my environment my whole entire life. So it was kind of like I had a choice, but I didn't. It was almost more of like I had all the resources that I wanted, and I had it right there all the time whenever I needed it. So I was like, you know what, why not? This is something I love. This is something that's been a part of my life since I've been on this earth. So why not?
We got any more questions? From this wonderful audience. All right, we got another one.
So if you did get a chance to go to the WNBA, would you go?
That's hard to say because yes, I would love to say yes. I would love to go play in the WNBA. But like I said, basketball has been a part of my life since the very beginning. So I think at some point I will be ready to close that door and find
new things.
Yeah, find a new identity and do some more meaningful stuff in the world than just play basketball.
Would that include journalism since that's your major?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How did you get into that? Why did you pick journalism?
So when I was little, my parents were divorced, so my dad and I spent a lot of time together, just us one-on-one. And every single morning before I went to school, SportsCenter was on. Like we didn't watch cartoons in my house. We watched SportsCenter. And I've been saying from the beginning, like I want to be one of those girls that talk on the sideline, commentate, that kind of stuff. And then I just kind of rolled with it after that. I didn't really know what that entailed. Like growing up, I didn't know what kind of major you had to have for that. But then when I started kind of getting into sports and stuff, I realized that's something that I could do for real. So.
Okay.
All right, I would like to end the show here. I would like to thank.
I think you have another question.
Do you have any other professions like besides just journalism and basketball? Like any other things?
So I'm still maybe shooting for law school, and if I did, I'd probably want to do like sports agency stuff or go be like athletic director at like a really big school.
Like a coach?
Yeah, I don't know about coaching because my dad was a coach, so it was pretty, growing up, like I saw how time-consuming that was, and that was great, but at the same time, I think I'd like to do something else.
Got a question?
I was thinking about you talking about all the aspects of the game and the way it's produced on television and how we see it. what do you see any things that are missing that you want to add? Like when we think about innovation, like new plays, new, like women used to not be commentators the way they are at the desk now. What are you thinking about bringing to the whole ism schism of it?
Yeah, I actually was just having a conversation with someone the other day in one of my classes about this. 9 times out of 10, when you hear the woman voices on ESPN, Fox Sports, whatever, they're dressed all pretty in front of the camera, standing right here. But when you're watching the Knicks play the Warriors and you're listening to the game as it's coming through your TV, you don't hear women's voices. And that's usually because they want them in front of the camera to look nice. And they want the man's voice behind the game and that kind of stuff. So I think keeping those doors open for women to commentate games, be in those positions that are usually held by males, bigger anchor spots, I think that's definitely somewhere that we need to move as a society. And then just basketball in general, I think we need to be ready for women to take on the more aggressive game. It has been made about, 3-point shots. That's a big woman thing right now. And that is for the men too. But, there's people in the WNBA dunking right now. And I think we need to be ready for that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, they're dunking. How do you feel about your teammates?
I love my teammates. This is one of the best teams that I've ever got to be on. We're all very tight-knit. We do everything together. Literally, outside of basketball, we're together all the time. And I think that translates on the court, too. I think if you're close with your teammates off the floor, then you're going to have the best chemistry on the floor, too.
Like, what's it like in practice? Are you going like head-to-head? Is it like this?
Yeah, certain points of the year that is. Preseason's a lot of that. It's a lot of competition, who's going to play what spot, who's going to be in the starting 5. So it's a lot of playing, a lot of scrimmaging, seeing who flows well the best in the game and with who, the different rotations.
How do you feel about March Madness? It's crazy this year.
It's very crazy this year. I have some guys that are actually playing right now in the Sweet 16, and they're just they're so locked in. I haven't even heard from them in forever. And then I have some friends that play in women's basketball too, and it's like you don't hear from them for a while because they're so dialed into what they're doing. But no, it's crazy. I've enjoyed watching all the games this year.
All right, that's cool. Wait. All right, we got 2 more.
Did you say you wanted to be a medical doctor for basketball?
So that was one of my first things that I thought about when I was younger. I was like, well, what can I do that's related to sports? And then I was like, well, I could be an athletic trainer. So actually, when I was in the 5th grade, that's what I told my parents. I was like, at the end of the year, they make you say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was like, well, I think I might want to be an athletic trainer. But that was only because I didn't understand yet that there really was a spot and there was a way to do journalism. I wasn't really open to that. But ever since then, my thoughts have been, being a sports reporter.
This last one right here?
I forgot.
Forgot?
I'm trying to get it back.
You're trying to get it back.
I would like to thank the audience here in front of me for watching it. And to all the people who want to see this live.
We like to thank Samantha for the tickets to the game too.
Oh yeah,
right?
Sure.
Make sure
A pretty good game. And also, I just want to remind you one more time that this is your favorite Ballers podcast, Ball Talk, and we out.
All right, we'll go ahead. And cut on that.
you guys do such a good job. That was great.
Good questions from the audience.
Let's get a picture
Y'all want to
too.
take a picture?
Yeah.
I'm getting behind
Oh, be careful, you knock yourself
You
down.
might want to get right there.
I'm getting behind all the
Watch the camera. Come on, Jay Sean.
Hold on, let me get this picture. You do.
Yeah, and they both be good.
Come on, Jay
I bet you
Sean.
didn't know.
Just take right here. Big A.
You end up growing.
Don't say nothing.
Get
Don't say nothing.
over there.
I hate the short
She's
definition.
fired.
I don't want to get 10 or 11.
Yes, get over there.
I'm only
Get back to Rachel.
I didn't play the
I'm
outro.
only
Wait on you.
I bet you're fast.
Oh, she's fired.
Come on, JJ.
No.
Get the picture so we can hurry up.
Yeah, come on.
JJ, Jizzle,
Come on, JJ.
Get over there. There's room over there too.
Rachel,
Rachel, you got to stand up.
Yeah, Rachel.
Stop. I'm right here.
Rachel, we can't see you. Get up, girl. We got to go.
I'm right here. I don't want to be the picture.
You gotta
Get in
stand
the
up.
picture. Someday you will want to see yourself in the
We gotta
picture.
come on.
Please get up.
You did a great job, I'm sure, producing
Yeah,
what she
come
was
on,
doing
Mama.
over there. You got to.
A short producer.
That's true.
Even makes it low.
Can't go
Dang,
back.
I'm in 5th grade and you're saying short.
You're right, I can't see you.
Yeah.
Get in the chair.
I'm obsessed with living
Get by the treasure, man. Come on.
Same thing.
I'm waiting on you.
Come on, get in there. You will want to be in the
I'm waiting on you. Come on.
Come on, get in.
Why do I have to be in the
Because we
picture?
love you. Get in the picture.
Yes.
Just get in the picture. It's like a second.
Get in the picture now.
I
Yes.
Come on,
Alright,
get
alright,
a
we
picture.
I'm gonna catch people.
Alright, man. I ain't gonna force you to get in the picture. That light is giving me a glare.
Make sure my face looks good.
Malachi, shut up.
Alrighty. Missy, you wanna get in?
No, I'm good.
Rachel, look up. Say cheese.
Why you putting Wanda
Put
ear?
the fingers down. No bunny ears.
Alright,
Nobody
I'm not sick. I promise.
Nobody ears.
Alright, let's take one picture. I'm gonna get it. Stay right there.
Hey, you want Matt to take it? I'm just telling you. You want
Get
him?
it with me.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's pretty good.
Come on. Hurry up.
Jamaica, just stop being hard and go on.
I'm not hard. I don't want to be in the picture.
Come on, sweetheart.
Just
just a
come on
picture.
in the picture.
Yeah.
Just
Wanda,
like 5
she's in. Wanda,
seconds.
ready?
Come on.
3. Oh, good. She's in. There we go.
Yeah.
Good. 3, 2, 1. One more. Yes, got it. Yeah.